Okay, so I'm an eye doctor,
Right.
And what's going on in my life is a lot of these things I've planted and fertilized, the soil that I tilled, the going out Johnny Appleseed, planting seeds, all this stuff is coming up. And in my life, there's a lot of stuff going on to where I've been found out by other people, researchers. There's this private investment group that has hundreds of millions of dollars, and they fund all these things, and I'm in with those things, and they're finding me because.
Are you kidding?
I'm dead serious, and I don't have those dollars coming in at all. It's just these capital investment groups, and there's these people out there who do this stuff, and there's this one group, and it's kind of interesting that they just do hundreds of research projects for all parts of the body, cardiology, brain, knee, everything, because that's what they do. That's how stuff gets to market. It takes about 17 years for something to get from an idea to the marketplace.
Okay.
And so what I do is I always go look at the stuff that's 3 and 4 and 5 years in, and that's what I bring to practice, because it would suck if your loved one died of cancer today and the cure came out tomorrow. You go, geez, they missed it by a day. Well, the fact is there is stuff out there for all of us that is going to be better for us, and it hasn't hit the marketplace yet. And I find it interesting to go look for those things. I go foraging for mushrooms, and because it's fun to go learn which mushrooms are good, and there you can kill yourself eating the wrong mushrooms. So you have to be smart about it. But I like doing that stuff. I like, if there's a chance to go sifting for gold in some dirt, I would love to do that. And it's just fine. It's fun finding stuff.
See, overnight Mike forages mushrooms.
Okay, right. And I know there's about 7 that I'll eat because I know exactly what they are, and there are no mimickers and whatnot. But so they say every mushroom is edible, but some are only edible once. And
I'd never heard that.
But back to that whole philosophy of what makes me tick. I'm a root cause guy, and I sit here and go, excuse me, why do you have that? What's the reason you have that condition? How do you fix it at the ground floor and work up from there? Because it's kind of silly to go, it's like a game of Jenga. If all these sticks are missing and you're building up on the top, it's like, dude, it's going to fall over. I had a fella in the office the other day. I've been playing eye doctor for over 3 decades, and I'm seeing, it's after a while, the people come like family. They come in and hey, what's going on? And you remember when they were 6 and 7, and there's this, about 200-pound overweight guy, 27 years old. Nice, hey, Dr. Wilcox, how you doing? And the doing my exam thing, and it goes on to this question of diabetes. Well, I don't have it, and well, you will, and well, it's a serious conversation because I care about these people, and some people simply don't know, and some people have their head in the sand and they don't want to know. And so my statement to him was, and my question was, how many sodas do you drink? And he had tested, 3 to 4, which means it's 6 to 8, and I said, well, listen, if I told you that at your house that there was poison that would kill you with one sip in one of those bottles of soda, would you dump them all out? He says, by all means. And I'm saying, well, I'm telling you there is poison, but it's going to kill you in years to decades, and it's called sugar. And I said, you're going to dump them out? He goes, nope. And so I say, okay, fine, I'm moving on. I'm going to continue doing my routine eye care, diabetic eye care, whatever I'm doing. But when he's ready, I'm there for him. So I have these people who come in who believe in me when I sit here, and either they know because somebody told them, or it's kind of in the chair conversions of, well, you have this and you can do this, that, and the other.
Right.
And with that, over the past handful of years, I have patients who buy into these repurposed technologies that emit red light or magnetic fields. And I say, we don't have anything specifically for the eyeballs, but the same amount of energy in this study in Milwaukee, water, that shows that it helps humans and mice, that they don't have anything ready for human, the eye. Use this. You stick it on your head and you stick this light up your nose. It's called the Vielight. Been using it for years. And let's talk about that one. This transcranial and intranasal red light helps brain problems. The IED victims from the wars, the cognitive disorders, Parkinson's, dementia. It helps. Proven. Vielight. Go look it up.
Is that any red light?
No, it's certain red light and certain wavelengths and a certain amount of energy. Okay, so you have to have some science behind it, and the dose is a toxin. But so back to being an eye doctor. The last time I checked, your nose is pretty close to your eye, and your skull is pretty close to your eye. And I said to people who have eye problems and cognitive disorders, but eye problems, say, try this. And they'll go buy it. And it's not cheap. It's a couple grand to buy this stuff from somebody else, not me. But I have all the eyeball technology to baseline this stuff. So I have cool scanning things called an OCT, great visual field units that are used in research centers. I have great imaging systems. So we get all this baselining done, and they go use it. And of the people who take it and use it 5 to 6 days a week, and they're walking around the house with this funny thing on their head, and they come in every 6 to 12 months, their eyes get better, their cognition gets better, and then I get the word out to these inventors of these things and these companies, and they're just tripping over themselves to get me to publish it, and I'm working on it. It's a lot of work, and this is going on in a couple, 3 different directions. So the fact is, when you use magnetic fields and you use certain wavelengths of light and near infrared light and red light and this and the other, it helps your body. Our bodies, at the root cause of things, we evolved on this rock, this magnetic rock called the Earth, full of iron, and 37% iron. We evolved on this rock, and we used to go outside every day and toil in labor, and had red light and blue light and this, that, and the other. And we used to eat real food and not these oatmeal cookies that are full of God knows what. Truly, because go look up Chris Knobbe, Knobbe, and cureamd.org, and you'll see the one-to-one relationship between processed foods and disease. And so, back to being a good eye doctor and using these things. So the root cause of our disease is we have these cells in our body, and they have a bilipid membrane. So think of it as a castle with two layers of rocks, and then we have doors in there. So you have the drawbridge and the doors. We have multiple drawbridges for stuff to come in and out of the cells. And there's things, if we make our castle walls out of junk, bad plastics, trans fats, and this, that, and the other. And now the invading people are using a trebuchet to hurl rocks and things at the castle wall. The cell wall is going to break down. And if our doors don't work right, our castle doors don't work right to bring stuff in and bring stuff out, there's problems. So we have trillions of these cells, and we have all these mitochondria, these energy makers inside the cells, and they have to be optimized. And it's really simple stuff. And it's complicated because it means that you have to stop stuff, take stuff, and do stuff.
Most people just walk around with the unthought of assumption that the body just works.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You're going to tear this radio station down, and you're going to build it again. Do you build it with Chinese drywall? Of course not. That's silly. Why would I do that? Well, then why do you eat Chinese drywall? Why do you eat this stuff? Because it's convenient, because it's easy, because it tastes good. When somebody's an alcoholic and you go, can't you quit drinking? And they're a smoker, can't you quit smoking? Well, if you're drinking all this soda a day, well, can't you quit drinking soda? And they go, oh, that's different. Well, no, it's not. You're killing yourself a different way. And I'm not preaching. I'm just teaching. Okay.
What do you drink during the course of a day? Only water?
Yeah. I'm a better person today than I was 10 years ago, and better than I was 5 years ago. And don't use me. I kid you not. I'm not sitting here and say put me up here at a pedestal.
No, I'm not. I just asked.
But no, you ask my staff. They eat lunch. I never eat lunch. Our Sandy at our office turned 60 yesterday, and so we gave her a bunch of grief and cards, and there was some stuff. And said, "See, have some. You have a little piece of the tart they made. It's all nice. It's good." But the thing is, you don't need to have Thanksgiving every day in your life. And when you go buy fast food and eat 2,000 calories, that is like going to Bangladesh and having 3 days or 5 days worth of food, or whatever the number is, Sure. And so when we do this to our bodies want to go through seasons of starvation. It's called fasting. I mean, look at the word breakfast, breaking a fast. And so you fast every day. And people, they say, oh, yeah, I do intermittent fasting. Oh, well, I eat breakfast at 10 o'clock in the morning. Good, a pat on the back, but for God's sake, can you go a day or two? And, oh, no, I'll die. Well, no, then teach your body to do those things. And go look up Dr. Lou Lim. Jason Fung, Fung, Jason. And go to YouTube. Listen to this doctor, this endocrinologist out of Canada. Phenomenal guy. I like him. He's funny. He has a nice way of presenting things, but he'll teach you on how to fast, and go do these things. So you don't have to come to me. Dr. Google will get you in trouble, and Dr. Google and YouTube can also make you very well. Go look at 20 things and find 10 that are repeated over and over again, and you'll probably find the truth somewhere in there.
All right, let me preface all this with the fact that what Dr. Wilcox said early on. He is an eye doctor. If you need glasses, if you need an eye exam, he does that. If you want contacts, he does that. He offers you opportunities. These are not things that he pushes on you. I have been there before. I know how it works. And like I say, a lot of times you can be a little scary.
Yep.
And, somebody thinking they're going to walk into your office and all of a sudden you're going to be going, oh, my God, you're overweight. You eat this, you drink soda, you eat that. No, he's going to give you an eye exam and he's going to ask you some questions. And from those questions, he's going to determine what to say or what to offer or what to suggest. It's your option. You just want glasses, he can get you glasses.
Thank you. But see, now I'll take one thing I'll say in disagreement. I don't say somebody's overweight. I ask people questions that they can answer, okay? So I'll sit here and say, in your intake form, it says your mom and dad had diabetes and you have diabetes and you're on metformin and insulin. So, do you like that? And do you wish that was gone? If you can click your finger, it's going to be gone. And then when you get the yes, then that encourages the conversation to go forward. And what happens is, and it's not a gotcha thing at all.
That's why he hasn't said you're overweight.
All I do is I do a good job. I tell people, and I think it, but I don't say it much, is that you can't make me do a bad job. So whether you're from the free clinic, and I see patients from the free clinic since they started, and I'll do it forever, happily, lovingly, or you're, somebody who's going to, you're rich or poor, black or white, green or blue, tall or short, whatever it is, you get treated the same way. I do my best. And the best is to be honest. And when you're honest with people, they appreciate it. Sometimes people get offended when you're honest because they don't like it, but that's their drama to put up with. My job is to have you, when you leave my office, you don't wonder what he was thinking, because I'm going to tell you, because I'm busy and I got to move on to the next person. But we always find the time, there's always a time to sit there with somebody and have a conversation, because if, nobody sits in my chair and says, I'm glad I'm half blind, ever. And hey, listen.
Never happened.
Never, and never will. And so the thing is, I take it my responsibility to assist you, like a lifeguard, somebody struggling in the water and they don't know how to swim or whatever, to assist you into health. And so back to these concoctions of energy, magnetic fields, light, ozone, it all works. And it's not for everybody, but in the future, which we're getting closer to every day, then we're gonna have a Jetsons kind of life, to where you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to get your magnetic fields and you're going to get your red light and you're going to do these things, and you're going to clearly find in the future that I see happening of the people who are choosing to be healthy, you're going to...
What fed you to become you? You could be just a regular eye doctor.
Yeah, there's plenty of those people out there. And
but what all of a sudden banged you on the forehead and said, no, you're going to do it this way?
I'm one of 12 kids, and I was abused as a child because I was neglected. And I'm joking about the abuse. When you're one of 12 kids, I ran away one day. They never noticed. I swear to God. I don't know, Neil. It's something that the good Lord has been preparing me for. That I sit sit here in the morning. I look up and I say I'm going to try to do my best, and at night, every night I apologize for not. But I try. And so if I'm an eye doctor, I'm supposed to be a good eye doctor. If you're a radio guy, you're supposed to be a good radio guy. And if everyone did what they did well, then we'd all be at a better place, right?
Down at the Point, Wilcox Eye Center. You're going to be back in 2 weeks, I think.
Yes, I will.
Okay, all right.
This
was a little different today.
Yeah, it was. A little church here.
A lot of times you come in and you've got one of your gadgets, or we talk about a procedure. Boy, you just sat down and started rolling.
Yeah, well, it's good. It was a good one. So all these things are going to be on the website, and it's a matter of, there you go, find the time to get them on the website. But they'll all be there, and I thank you, and it's nice meeting you.
But I always like to don't let the way you come across sometimes, it can scare people.
Well, when you have a fire hose of information you have to give out, and it is a problem I have of, Benjamin Franklin said, I would have written you a shorter letter, but I didn't have the time. It's a quote. I think he said it. And the thing is, to say less well is better than more poorly, but you never know what button you have to push to get somebody to respond. And so it's a project. I'm a project every day for my wife and my staff and myself.
To my PCP all the time. Mm-hmm. One of the most thorough PCPs I've ever had. Mm-hmm. You never feel like she's looking to go to the next room. And come to I found out the other day that she has all kind of great references and everything. So I've been right on the beam.
Let me say one thing in closing. I didn't wear a watch for 12 years. And the reason I didn't wear a watch for 12, because I can remember this. One time, 20 years ago, a patient is talking to me, and she's sharing with me about her cancer and her plight. And I was interested in what she had to say, and I took that reaction, that habit of kind of looking at my wrist, and I had no interest in what time it was. I know that, but I could never prove it to her if I had tried to. But when I did that, and she looked at me, her eyes said, "You son of a something or other." Yeah. And then she just shut down, and I took my watch off, I put it in the drawer, and I said, "That's never going to happen again."